the 4-step blueprint to master any skill and become a true expert. Hello and welcome to MT. Today we are going to talk about something that deep down everyone wants, which is to be truly great at something. We all know someone like Mr. Henderson, a man who worked as an accountant for 40 years. He was good at his job, he paid his bills, and he raised his family. But his heart was not in the numbers or the spreadsheets. His heart was in his garage with the smell of sawdust and wood glue. On weekends, he would build the most beautiful furniture, pieces of art made from wood. He never sold them, and he never thought of it as a career, because he was an accountant, and that was that. Mr. Henderson had a job, but he never achieved mastery. He traded 5 days of his week every week for 2 days of doing what he truly loved. That is like trading $5 for $2, a deal nobody would ever take, yet millions of us take this deal with our time, which is far more valuable than money. This video is about how to avoid that trade. We will show you that becoming a master, an expert in a field you love, is not about being born a genius. It is a process, a roadmap that anyone can follow if they have the courage to start the journey. We are going to break down the 4 essential pillars that form the blueprint for mastery. Pillar 1. Discover your calling. The first and most important pillar is finding your life's task, your true calling. This is the foundation upon which everything else is built. You cannot become a world-class expert in something you secretly hate, because you will never have the energy to push through the hard times. Passion is not just a nice feeling. It is the fuel that will keep your engine running when you feel like quitting. A calling is a deep, personal connection to a certain type of activity or field. It feels natural to you, almost like it was designed for you. So, how do you find this calling if you feel lost and have no idea what it is? It is not a magical treasure that you stumble upon by accident. It is more like being a detective, looking for clues that have been scattered throughout your entire life. The first place to look is your own childhood. Before the world told you who you should be, what did you love to do? What activities made you lose track of all time, making hours feel like minutes? Maybe you were the kid who spent all day in your room drawing pictures and creating entire worlds on paper. Maybe you were the one who was always taking toys apart just to see how they worked inside. Or perhaps you were the child who loved organizing all the other kids into complex games with rules that you made up yourself. These were not just silly childhood games. They were the first whispers of your inner calling. The kid who loved drawing had an inclination for visual creation. The kid who took things apart had a natural curiosity for engineering and systems. And the kid who organized games had an instinct for leadership and strategy. Think back to those moments, that feeling of pure, effortless enjoyment. That feeling is a giant, flashing sign pointing you in the right direction. It's a signal from the most authentic version of yourself, before you were taught to be practical and realistic. Another powerful tool for finding your calling is what we can call the envy test. Envy is often seen as a negative emotion, something to be ashamed of. But if you use it correctly, envy can be a powerful compass pointing directly at what you desire. When you see someone else's life or skills and feel a pang of envy, do not just dismiss it. Ask yourself, what exactly am I envious of? Is it their money, or is it the freedom they have because they run their own business? Are you envious of the famous author, or are you envious of the fact that they get to spend their days playing with words and ideas? Are you envious of the expert programmer, or are you envious of their ability to build something useful and real out of pure thought? That feeling of envy is your subconscious mind telling you, I want that too. It's a clue that a part of you believes you are capable of achieving a similar thing. It reveals a deep-seated desire that you might have suppressed for years. Use envy not as a source of bitterness, but as a tool for self-discovery. A third method is the pain point test. This sounds strange, but it is incredibly effective. Ask yourself this question: what problems in the world do you actually enjoy solving for other people? Your calling is almost always connected to serving others in some way. When your friends have computer trouble, are you the first person they call? And do you secretly enjoy the process of figuring out what's wrong and fixing it? When someone is sad or confused, do you find yourself naturally giving them advice and feeling good when you help them see things more clearly? Maybe you are the person who loves organizing a messy closet or a chaotic garage. The feeling of bringing order to chaos is deeply satisfying to you. These are not just chores or favors, they are signs of your natural inclinations. The problems you enjoy solving are the problems you are meant to solve on a larger scale. The person who loves fixing computers could be a great IT specialist or software developer. The person who loves giving advice could be a wonderful coach, therapist, or manager. The person who loves organizing chaos could be a brilliant project manager or business owner. Finally, you can follow your curiosity trail. What subjects do you find yourself reading about or watching videos on for no good reason? What topics pull you in, even if they have nothing to do with your current job or studies? This is your natural curiosity at work, and it is a powerful force. Your brain is naturally drawn to the things it is designed to be good at. If you find yourself constantly watching documentaries about ancient history or reading articles about the future of technology, that is a clue. Follow that trail of breadcrumbs. Do not judge it or try to make it practical right away. Just allow yourself to be pulled by your interests, and eventually, you will find that many of these trails lead to the same general area, which is the heartland of your calling. Once you have a few ideas about what your calling might be, you will face your biggest obstacle. This obstacle is not a person or a lack of money. The biggest obstacle is the set of negative voices inside your own head. These voices are not truly your own. They are recordings of your parents, your teachers, your friends, and society in general. They have been playing in your mind for so long that you think they are your own thoughts, but they are not. One of these is the voice of practicality. It says things like, "You love painting, but you can't make a living as an artist. You need a real job with a steady paycheck and health insurance." This voice is built on fear, the fear of not having enough. Another is the voice of doubt. It says, "Sure, some people make a living as a writer, but you're not that good. You don't have what it takes, so don't even try. You will only embarrass yourself." This voice is built on insecurity. There is also the voice of tradition. It says, "No one in our family has ever done something like that. We are doctors, lawyers, and engineers. You should follow a safe and respectable path." This voice is built on the fear of judgment from others. To find your calling and pursue mastery, you must learn to identify these voices and then consciously ignore them. You have to understand that your concept of work has been limited by these voices. You have been taught that work is supposed to be hard and unpleasant, and that passion is something you do on the side as a hobby. This is one of the most destructive ideas in modern society. It forces us to split ourselves in two: the work self who is bored and just getting through the day, and the real self who only gets to come out on evenings and weekends. This is a recipe for a life of quiet desperation. You must make a radical commitment to a new idea. The idea that your work and your passion can be the same thing. You need to look around and find evidence that this is possible. For every passion you can think of, I guarantee you can find someone, somewhere, who is making an excellent living from it. There are people who get paid to play video games, to travel the world, to taste chocolate, to organize people's homes, and to write about their favorite sports teams. The reason you think your dream is impossible is because the negative voices in your head have convinced you it is. The final step in this pillar is to commit to yourself first. Before you can convince anyone else, you have to convince yourself. You have to decide that your unique path is worth following, even if it is scary and uncertain. Many people are attracted to career paths for the wrong reasons, such as money, fame, or status. They become a lawyer because it sounds prestigious, or they go into finance because it promises a big salary. But this is a false path, and it will never lead to mastery. You can't become a master in something your heart is not in. Mastery requires thousands of hours of dedication, practice, and a profound emotional connection to the subject. You simply will not be able to do the work if you are only in it for the money or the attention. The good news is that if you follow your true calling, success will often follow you. Almost every great master in history did not start their journey looking for fame and money. They were obsessed with their craft, whether it was science, art, or business, and the money and fame came later as a byproduct of their incredible skill and dedication. So, the first pillar is to do the deep personal work of finding what you are meant to do. Look to your past, follow your curiosity, listen to your envy, and find the problems you love to solve. Then, you must gather the courage to ignore the negative voices and commit to your path, trusting that a life built on passion is the only life that leads to true mastery. Pillar 2. The apprenticeship journey. Once you have identified your calling, you cannot just jump in and expect to be an expert. The second pillar is the apprenticeship journey. Every single master you have ever heard of, from Leonardo da Vinci to the top athletes of today, had a long period of learning before they became great. We rarely hear about this stage because it is not glamorous. It is filled with struggle, frustration, and a lot of hard work with very little to show for it. But it is the most important phase for building the actual skills you will need. In our modern world of instant information, it is tempting to think you can learn everything by yourself from the internet. While the internet is a great tool, it cannot replace the structured learning of an apprenticeship. The world is becoming more complex, and competition is more intense than ever. You need a guide. The core idea of apprenticeship is this. Instead of spending 10 years trying to figure everything out by yourself through trial and error, you find a person or a place that can teach you the essential rules in a fraction of that time. Your primary goal during this phase is not to make money, it is to learn. Your payment is knowledge. This journey consists of 3 essential steps. The first step is deep observation, which we can call the passive mode. For a period of time, your only job is to watch and listen. You are like a sponge, trying to absorb everything you can about how this field really works. You observe the successful people, the masters and mentors, and you try to understand the rules of the game. What are they doing that the average people are not doing? What are the spoken rules of this environment? And more importantly, what are the unspoken rules? How do people communicate? How is power structured? And what is truly valued here? This is not the time to show off how smart you are. It is not the time to come in with your brilliant new ideas or to criticize the way things are done. If you do that, you will close yourself off from learning. People will see you as arrogant and will not want to share their knowledge with you. You must be humble, quiet, and observant. The second step is skill acquisition, which we can call the practice mode. Now that you have observed the rules and the techniques, it is time to practice. This is where you put in the hours and build your foundation. This is the part that requires immense discipline. A common idea is that it takes around 10,000 hours of practice to achieve mastery in a field. While the exact number is not magical, the principle is true. It takes a massive amount of dedicated practice. The key here is to focus on one skill at a time. Do not make the mistake of trying to learn 10 different things at once. If you want to become a great writer, you might focus for months just on writing clear sentences, then move on to structuring paragraphs, and then to storytelling. You break down the larger craft into its smallest component parts, and you master them one by one. This is slow, repetitive, and often boring work, but there is no way to skip it. The third step is experimentation, which we can call the active mode. After you have spent thousands of hours observing and practicing, you will have a solid foundation of skills. You have learned the rules of the game so well that you can play it in your sleep. Now, and only now, is it time to start creating something unique. You are no longer just copying what others have done. You are starting to add your own voice, your own style, and your own ideas to the mix. You start to experiment with new approaches. You bend the rules a little, and sometimes you break them, because you now understand them deeply enough to know how and when to do so. This is where you might see a gap in the market or a problem that no one else is solving, and you use your skills to create a new and different solution. Let's use a simple example. Imagine you want to be a great chef. In step 1, observation, you get a job in the kitchen of a great restaurant. You don't try to invent new dishes. You just wash dishes, chop vegetables, and watch the head chef, learning how they combine flavors and manage the kitchen. In step 2, skill acquisition, you practice for years. You learn how to make every sauce perfectly. You master the basic techniques of sautéing, roasting, and braising until they become second nature. In step 3, experimentation, you finally have the skills and knowledge to start creating your own dishes. You might combine a technique from French cooking with an ingredient from Japanese cooking, creating something new and exciting. You have earned the right to be creative because you first did the hard work of building your skills. To succeed in this long apprenticeship journey, your mindset is everything. It is what will separate you from all the people who quit along the way. Here are 11 mindsets you must adopt to survive and thrive during this phase. First, value learning over money. When you are starting out, you must choose the job or opportunity that will teach you the most, not the one that pays the most. If you take the high-paying job, you will feel immense pressure to prove that you are worth the money. Your focus will shift from learning to impressing your boss and avoiding mistakes. When you are afraid to make mistakes, you become afraid to take risks. And if you do not take risks, you do not learn anything new. Working for a low salary, or even for free if you can afford it, can be the best decision you ever make. It buys you the freedom to be a student, to ask questions, and to fail without catastrophic consequences. Second, swallow your pride. In the apprenticeship phase, you are at the bottom of the ladder. You are there to learn, not to be right or to win arguments. You will have to do tasks that you feel are beneath you. You will have to listen to criticism that might feel unfair. You must learn to control your ego and accept your position as a learner. An empty cup can be filled with water, but a cup that is already full cannot. Be the empty cup. Third, go the extra mile. The average apprentice does exactly what is asked of them, and no more. The future master does more. Read every book you can find on the subject. Stay late to practice a skill one more time. Ask questions that show you are thinking deeply about the craft. You are not doing this extra work to impress your boss, although that might be a side effect. You are doing it for yourself because you are obsessed with getting better. Fourth, drop the superiority. No matter how smart you think you are, you do not know enough yet. You must adopt the mind of a child who is always curious and assumes that others know more than they do. This allows you to learn from everyone, not just your official mentor. You can learn something valuable from the janitor, the secretary, or a fellow apprentice. If you walk around with a feeling of superiority, you will close yourself off from these valuable lessons. Fifth, trust the process. There will be many times during your apprenticeship when you feel overwhelmed and lost. The things you are learning will seem too complex, and you will feel like you are not making any progress. This is the point where most people slow down or quit. You must have faith and trust the process. Understand that this feeling of confusion is a normal part of learning. If you just keep going, keep practicing, and keep showing up, you will eventually have a breakthrough, and everything will start to fall into place. Sixth, embrace pain and failure. We are taught to avoid pain and failure at all costs. But in the learning process, pain and failure are your greatest friends. Pain is a signal that something is wrong. When you touch a hot stove, the pain tells you to move your hand. When you fail at a task, the pain of that failure is a signal that your approach was wrong and it forces you to find a new one. You should be grateful for your mistakes. Each failure is a free lesson, pointing out exactly where your weaknesses are. The people who are terrified of failure never push themselves, and so they never learn. Seventh, push through boredom. A huge part of acquiring any skill is repetition. You have to practice the same basic things over and over and over again, thousands of times. This is incredibly boring. Our modern minds crave constant newness and stimulation. You must cultivate the discipline to push through this boredom. The famous Stanford marshmallow experiment showed this perfectly. Young children were offered 1 marshmallow now, or 2 marshmallows if they could wait for 15 minutes. The children who had the self-control to wait for the second marshmallow went on to be much more successful in life. This ability to delay gratification and do the boring, necessary work is a superpower. Eighth, document everything. Keep a journal or a notebook. Every day, write down what you learned, what mistakes you made, and what questions you have. This simple act does 2 things. It forces you to reflect on your day and solidify your learning. It also creates a record of your progress, which can be incredibly motivating to look back on when you feel like you are stuck. Ninth, seek constant feedback. Do not wait for your annual performance review to find out how you are doing. You must actively seek out feedback, even if it is hard to hear. After you complete a task, go to your mentor or a more experienced colleague and ask, "How could I have done that better?" Most people avoid feedback because it can hurt their ego. You must run towards it because it is the fastest way to improve. 10th, Reverse engineer success. Do not just look at a successful product or a masterful performance and admire it. Take it apart. Try to understand the underlying structure. Why did the creator make that specific choice? Why is this piece of writing so persuasive? Or why is this piece of software so easy to use? By breaking down the work of masters, you begin to see the hidden principles that you can then apply to your own work. And 11th, find an anti-mentor. This is someone in your field who is not successful. They might be lazy or arrogant or dishonest. Pay close attention to what they do and why they fail. Learning what not to do is just as valuable as learning what to do. It can save you from making the same costly mistakes yourself. You will know your apprenticeship is over when you start to feel that you have learned everything you can from your current environment. You will have the skills, the knowledge, and a growing confidence in your own abilities. At that moment, you have a choice. Either you declare your independence and start your own venture, or you move to a new environment where you can continue learning at an even higher level until you are finally ready to stand on your own. Pillar 3, the social game. So you have found your calling, and you have put in the thousands of hours of hard work during your apprenticeship. You now have a high level of skill. But this is not enough because you do not live or work in a vacuum. The third pillar of mastery is mastering the social game, what we can call social intelligence. You can be the most brilliant artist, scientist, or entrepreneur in the world, but if you cannot deal with people effectively, you will fail. Your journey to mastery will be blocked not by a lack of skill, but by the complex and often irrational world of human nature. I have seen it happen many times. A highly talented programmer who gets fired because no one on the team can stand working with him. A brilliant designer whose amazing ideas are always rejected because she does not know how to present them in a way that makes her boss feel comfortable. Without social intelligence, you are like a powerful car with no steering wheel. You have a lot of horsepower, but you are going to crash. Here are 8 essential laws of social intelligence that you must learn to navigate your career path. The first law is to make people feel important. The most basic and powerful human need, after food and shelter, is the need to feel significant. If you can satisfy this need in others, they will be drawn to you like a magnet. A person's name is, to that person, the sweetest and most important sound in any language. Yet, most of us are so self-absorbed that we forget someone's name 30 seconds after we hear it. You must train yourself to remember and use people's names. Furthermore, you must learn to be a great listener. Most people do not listen. They just wait for their turn to talk. When you give someone your full, undivided attention, you are sending them a powerful message. I think you are important, and what you have to say matters. The second law is to appeal to people's self-interest. When you want something from someone, whether it is help from a mentor, a raise from your boss, or a sale from a customer, you must resist the temptation to talk about what you want. Instead, you must figure out what they want and frame your request in a way that helps them get it. Your mentor does not help you out of the goodness of their heart. They help you because teaching a talented student makes them feel proud and enhances their own legacy. Your boss does not give you a raise because you need the money. They give you a raise because they are convinced that you will make them more money or solve a major problem for them. Always think from the other person's perspective first. The third law is to never, ever outshine the master. When you are in the presence of a superior, like a boss or a mentor, your job is to make them look good. You must make them appear more brilliant and more skilled than they are. This sounds dishonest, but it is a fundamental law of power. If you constantly show off your own talents and make your boss look bad in comparison, you are not proving how smart you are. You are creating an enemy. They will feel insecure and threatened by you, and they will find a way to get rid of you at the first opportunity. Let your master take the credit for your good ideas. In the long run, your talent will shine through. But if you are too obvious about it early on, you will be cut down before you even get started. The fourth law is to be interested, not interesting. When you meet new people, your natural instinct is to try to impress them. You want to tell them about your accomplishments and show them how smart and witty you are. This is a huge mistake. People are not interested in you. They are interested in themselves. The fastest way to make someone like you is to be genuinely interested in them. Ask them questions about their life, their work, and their passions. Let them be the star of the conversation. They will walk away thinking you are one of the most fascinating people they have ever met, even though you barely said a word about yourself. The fifth law is to learn to read the room. Communication is only about 7% verbal. The other 93% is tone of voice and body language. You must become a student of this nonverbal language. Pay attention to how people are standing, the expressions on their faces, and the tone of their voice. Often, what people are really thinking and feeling is the exact opposite of what they are saying. The ability to sense the mood of a group, to feel the unspoken tension or excitement, is a critical skill. It will tell you when to speak up, when to stay silent, when to push an idea, and when to back off. The sixth law is to control your own emotions. A master is not a slave to their feelings. They do not lash out in anger when they are insulted or show their despair when a project fails. This does not mean you are a robot with no emotions. It means you do not act on them impulsively. When you feel a strong emotion like anger, frustration, or fear, you must train yourself to take a step back and observe it. Why am I feeling this way? What is the most strategic response, rather than the most emotional one? People who cannot control their emotions are seen as unstable and untrustworthy, and they will never be given real power or responsibility. The seventh law is to give credit generously. In any successful project, there are many people who contribute. The amateur tries to take all the credit for themselves. The master makes sure to share the credit with everyone on the team. When you publicly praise others for their contributions, you accomplish two things. You make them feel important and appreciated, which makes them loyal to you and eager to work with you again in the future. And paradoxically, you make yourself look like a confident and powerful leader, someone who does not need to hoard the spotlight. The eighth and final law is to know who you are dealing with. You must accept the fact that the world is not full of nice, rational people. It is full of people driven by their own insecurities, envy, and greed. You must become an expert at judging people's character. Learn to spot the signs of a chronic complainer, a backstabber, or a passive-aggressive person. Do not assume that everyone plays by the same honorable rules that you do. As the old saying goes, when you are dealing with a snake, you cannot treat it like a puppy. You do not have to become a snake yourself, but you must be a wise observer of human nature in order to protect yourself from them. Mastering these laws of social intelligence is not about being fake or manipulative. It is about understanding the reality of how human beings operate and using that knowledge to navigate the world more effectively. Without these social skills, your technical skills are almost worthless. Pillar 4. Activating genius. You have discovered your calling, you have survived the apprenticeship, and you have learned to navigate the social world. You are now highly skilled and well-respected. The final pillar is where you make the leap from being just an expert to becoming a true master. This is the stage where you activate your own unique form of genius. As you become more skilled, there is a great danger that you will become more conservative. You have found a system that works, and it is tempting to just keep doing the same thing over and over again because it is safe and successful. But this is the death of creativity. To reach the highest level of mastery, you must do the opposite. You must become bolder, more creative, and more willing to experiment than ever before. To do this, you need to cultivate what we can call a dimensional mind. To understand the dimensional mind, we first need to look at the other two types of minds. The first is the original mind. This is the mind you had when you were a small child. The original mind is open, curious, and sees no limits. To a child, everything is possible. I once saw a little girl tell her father that when she grew up, she wanted to be a pizza delivery person. Her father asked her why, and she said, "Because pizza makes people happy, and I want to make people happy." She was not thinking about the salary, the status, or the career path. She was thinking in the purest, most direct way possible about her goal. This is the mind that a young child uses when they are finger painting. They do not worry about color theory or proper technique. They just joyfully mix colors and smear them on the paper, creating something new and unexpected. The original mind is a fountain of pure creativity. But as we grow up, we are taught to suppress this mind. We develop what is called the conventional mind. The conventional mind is the part of you that hears the story about the pizza delivery girl and immediately thinks, that's not a good job. It has low pay and no future. The conventional mind is obsessed with rules, conventions, and what other people think. It is the mind that tells you to color inside the lines. It is very good at absorbing information and following instructions, which makes it essential for the skill acquisition phase of the apprenticeship. But on its own, the conventional mind is not creative. It can only repeat what it has already learned. Most adults live their entire lives trapped in the conventional mind. The true master develops a third type of mind, the dimensional mind. The dimensional mind is the ultimate goal. It combines the best of both worlds. It has the raw, limitless creativity of the child's original mind, but it is backed by the thousands of hours of skill and discipline learned by the conventional mind. When you combine high-level skill with fearless creativity, magic happens. This is the mind of Albert Einstein, who had mastered the rules of classical physics so completely that he was able to see beyond them and create the theory of relativity. This is the mind of Leonardo da Vinci, who used his masterful skill in anatomy and painting to create art that was unlike anything the world had ever seen. The dimensional mind does not just consume information, it transforms it. It is an active and dynamic mind that is always looking for new connections and new possibilities. So, how do you develop this final, most powerful state of mind? First, you must never stop learning. The end of your formal apprenticeship is the beginning of your real education. You must maintain the curiosity of a child for your entire life. Read books from outside your field. Talk to people from different industries and cultures. Always be a student. Second, you must learn to connect the unconnected. The greatest creative breakthroughs often come from combining two seemingly unrelated ideas. For example, the founder of Nike combined the idea of a running shoe with the pattern of his wife's waffle iron to create a revolutionary new sole. You must train your brain to look for these odd connections. Ask yourself, how is this problem in my business like a problem in biology? What can I learn from the structure of a symphony that I can apply to the structure of my software? By forcing these connections, you jolt your mind out of its usual patterns and create the space for a new idea to be born. Third, you must embrace uncertainty. The conventional mind wants to have the right answer immediately. The dimensional mind is comfortable living with a question for a long time. When you are faced with a complex problem, do not rush to a solution. Allow the problem to sit in the back of your mind for days or even weeks. Let your subconscious mind work on it while you are doing other things. This patient, open-minded approach is often where the most profound insights come from. Fourth, you must constantly challenge your own assumptions. As you become an expert, your own ideas become your biggest prison. You must actively fight against your own success. Regularly ask yourself, what if everything I believe about my field is wrong? What if the opposite is true? This is a difficult and uncomfortable exercise, but it is essential for breaking out of your mental routines. You have to be willing to destroy your own best ideas to make room for even better ones. And fifth, you must learn to alternate between intense focus and total relaxation. You need hours of deep, focused work to build your skills and solve problems. But you also need periods of rest and play where you are not thinking about the problem at all. Many of the greatest eureka moments in history have happened when the person was not at their desk. They happened on a walk, in the shower, or while listening to music. You must give your brain the downtime it needs to make those subconscious connections. Working harder is not always the answer. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is take a nap. Developing the dimensional mind is the ultimate goal of the journey. It is the point where work becomes play. You have so mastered the fundamentals of your craft that you are now free to create, to express your unique vision, and to contribute something new and valuable to the world. This is the power of mastery. To summarize, we have covered the 4 essential pillars of the Mastery Blueprint. The first is to do the deep inner work to discover your true calling, the thing you were born to do. This is the fuel for your entire journey. Second, you must humbly submit to an apprenticeship, a long period of disciplined learning where your only goal is to acquire skills. You do this through observation, practice, and finally, experimentation. Third, you must master the social game. You must learn to understand and navigate the complex world of human nature, because high-level skill is useless without social intelligence. And finally, you must make the leap to the dimensional mind, where you combine your hard-earned skill with the limitless creativity of a child to become a true and original master in your field. This path is not easy. It requires patience, discipline, and courage. But it is a path that is open to anyone who is willing to start the journey and see it through to the end. If this video helped you, please consider subscribing to MT for more guides on mastering your life. We'd love to have you on the journey with us. Thanks for watching.